Hi, we're going to set up a Data Studio template from scratch. And the first thing we're going to do is get the look and feel the way we want it. I'm on datastudio.google.com right now, and I'm going to click on blank report to create a new report. And then to actually start editing the dashboard, I do have to connect it to a data source. I don't really care what that is right now, but I'm going to go ahead and just pick a Google Analytics account to connect to. So I'm going to connect to this, to October's Analytics account. Add it. So now I've got that on there. Like I said, I don't actually care about that for now, but it wouldn't let me make changes to the report until I have a data source connected. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on this theme and layout button, and you can see some themes on the right, and these are mostly just color choices. So they affect the kind of overall the color of fonts, the color used in reports, charts and graphs. What I like to do is I do actually like these dark mode reports, but when I'm creating a report for a client or an organization, you go down at right here at the bottom, we have this extract theme from image. So we're going to use that, but before we do, I want to show you the image that I'm going to use. So this is the To October's website, and you see this bar across the bottom. This bar has the colors from our website sort of nicely laid out, and so the image I'm going to use to extract a theme is that image. So I'm going to pick this. I'm going to upload from computer, and got this folder here, and got this image. So now you can see, so it's pulled up a couple of different options for me. And the thing that I care most about is these the theme colors that it's going to allow me to choose from later on. So I'm going to just pick this white background one. Okay, now it hasn't really done anything yet, but will affect the colors that I work with. I'm going to customize the theme a little, and mostly this gives you the ability to tweak, again, the colors in the report, but the other thing is that you can change your default font, and it has pretty limited options here. I'm going to pick this Montserrat font. I think it looks nice. Okay, so now got that part of the theme set up. Then I'm going to make a few tweaks to layout. So I've got header visibility always show, and this is the header bar that this shows up across the top when a client is viewing the report. And I prefer to change this to auto hide. Just you get a little more screen real estate that way, and I don't really feel like the client actually needs that bar across the top. Another option you can change, the default for navigation is that the navigation is going to go down the left-hand side. Again, that uses up a bit of screen real estate. One that I like, and this one's new, is this tab navigation. And that presents tabs across the top, very much like you would expect to see on a website. I think it's more intuitive for people. That's often where people look for navigation. Another thing is this fit to width or actual size. We're going to pick a canvas size that will be fine on most screens, but actual size can result in the person having to scroll to the right, which most people are used to having to scroll down in a document, but they're often not used to having to scroll to the right, so which is both annoying, but sometimes somebody might actually not see something you have in the report because they don't realize that they need to scroll to the right. So I'm going to change this to fit to width. The other thing I'm going to do is it defaults to landscape US letter. And I'm going to change this to screen, landscape screen. The only reason you would pick portrait, in my opinion, is if you want users who are going to be printing it out, or maybe you're exporting it as a PDF and you want to send it as a document. So I'm going to go landscape, a screen aspect ratio, and I'm going to go ahead and put snap to grid on here, and that'll just make it a little easier when I'm making objects on the report. So then the other things I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of look and feel work. I'm going to add a little header bar across the top. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And let me make that just a wee bit bigger. So now we get to see our pre-built colors in action. I'm going to change this, and I'll do the same thing down here. Change that. I'm going to just throw in a little bar here, and make that fit that in. And okay, so I've got those on there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert an image. And this is a little bit weird. So you insert the image, and then you just drag a box, and then you can pick a file, and it'll actually size to the right aspect ratio. So I'm going to pick this white logo. Another thing that it does, which I find really odd, is it actually fills in the image. This is a PNG file with a transparent background. I'm going to change that to transparent, so now I get my transparent background. And okay, so that looks pretty good. Leave that like that for now. The next thing that's really useful when you're creating a template is if you right or control click on an element in the report, you can make it report level. So I'm going to right click on each of these and make them report level. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of text down here. I'll just say copyright 2021 to October's LLC, and change that to white, center it, and then I'm going to do the same thing, right click on that. Okay, so now I've made those things report level. So the next thing, I'll just show you what does that do for me. So if I want to add a page, well, so now you see I'm on page 2 of 2, and we've got all those elements on the each page. So the last thing I want to show you when you're setting up a template is it can be kind of nice to have a date control that's report level versus having it on each individual page. So I'm going to add this date control, and I'm going to make it report level. And here's a little trick, because you may not actually want this report on every page. So let's say I'm on page 2, and I want it on other pages when I create them in the report, but I'm going to go ahead and I can actually just hide it by sticking a little box over it, and it looks like we've got a shadow in this box. Oh, that looks like that's actually coming from the date control. If you do shift and then your arrow key, it'll nudge it just a little bit versus sticking with the grid, and so that's what I want. All right, so now that's disappeared. And we'll see, if we go back to page 1, there it is. And the last thing I'll show you is if we view this report, you see I've got my page 1, my page 2 navigation across the top. So.